Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, so my name is Martin, and I bring you greetings from Accra, Ghana, where Ghana and Nigeria are basically like five and six, twins on many fronts, especially on the front of Jollof. I think, yeah, that's just by the way. But I think we are not here to discuss Jollof. We are here on important matters. And I'm going to be doing a brief presentation. Bear with me. I have about 15 minutes to finish this presentation. And it's basically about building digital trust, particularly in our current dispensation, which is the digital economy. So one of the things that we can all or have alluded to is the fact that there's a lot of complexities when it comes to the emerging technologies as we have it today, and it's causing a lot of issues, particularly Nigeria here, where we are seeing a lot of fraudulent activities in the digital financial space when it comes to digital financial services. And so, to start with, yes. So before I start, I would like to pick your mind on a few things. Bear with me. It's 10 minutes, and I have about 5 minutes for Q&A. And I would like to pick your mind on a few things. But I want this session to be engaging as possible. Let's share our ideas. Let's share our opinions on what you are actually going to be seeing today. So I want to ask this question. How can we maintain the confidence, trust, and integrity of the financial ecosystem with the current complexities we are witnessing with emerging technologies where customers are not trusting enough of their financial data due to the concerns of fraud and scams? And that brings me to these two questions. Now, I'd like you to think about this two questions, and then I'll come back to you later in the presentation to pick your mind on it. So, having seated here and was listening to all the presentations of all the panelists that were ongoing, I picked up on a few things. A few things that kept ringing across all the multiple keynotes and all the speeches was the issue of trust, integrity, confidence, and collaborations. Trust, integrity, confidence, and collaborations. And at the heart of all this is a consumer. How do we protect the consumer, his data or her data, and how do we make their lives a lot more easier? So now let's look at the digital trust deficit in Africa, particularly having the notion or idea that a lot of the technologies that we are consuming today, we are not owners of those technologies. We are barely or merely, how do I put it, custodians of these technologies. Now, we are seeing the rise of AI. We are seeing the rise of blockchain and all these other technologies in the operations of financial services or the delivery of financial services. So we are going to look at this, but I'm going to more of talk about that of Nigeria. So this is a brief data stack that I've presented here, where it shows that Africa loses over 4 billion annually to cybercrime. So my topic is basically going to be surrounded on cybercrime-related activities and cybersecurity issues in Africa. So Africa loses about 4 billion annually to cybercrime, and 3 in 5 people in Africa are actually not tech or digital savvy or digital literate. And how do we, bridge that gap, particularly when we are talking about financial inclusion? Now, between May and December 2024, Nigeria moved from the 35th position to the 13th position, signaling a surge in cyber attacks. Why? Because of lack of a consolidated effort in fighting cybercrime-related activities. And that brought it to being a tier 3 level in cybercrime-related activities. And that's actually statistics from the Global Threat Index last year. Now, the country also lost about 52 billion, which is approximately 32.6 million in 2024. And that's a 195% increase from 2023 and a staggering 17.6 times surge in fraud losses from 2.96 billion recorded in 2019. And I like the fact that the Director of Innovation and Strategy from CBN is here. Maybe she can also attest to some of these statistics. And additionally, only 37% of financial institutions in Nigeria reported fraud incidents, and 63% of these institutions are non-compliant. Now, most of the fraud are actually executed via mobile banking apps, which is USSD, SMS, phishing, and mobile wallet transactions account for about 34% of this, fraud and scam-related activities or cybercrime activities. Now, the top channel for fraudsters is social engineering, being the leading technique used. Now, why are we saying all this? One of the things the gentleman from FIU mentioned was the fact that during his keynote presentation was the fact that there's the lack of fragmented regulatory and compliance systems and institutions and agencies in Nigeria. And we can see that all these institutions and others, like even CBN, have been trying their very best to fight cyber crime-related activities from their various institutions or agencies. And that means there is no consolidated effort in trying to fight cyber crime-related activities in Nigeria. And therefore, there's the need to consolidate all these efforts. And additionally, if you look at the news articles, these are just a few of the fraud reported in the media in Nigeria in 2024, and these are just a few. There's a whole lot of information out there that actually covers cybersecurity and fraud-related issues in Nigeria. Now, what is Ghana doing about this? I just want to use as a test case for us to understand where the narrative is in Ghana. Now, in 2020, Ghana established the Cybersecurity Authority, which is an authority that has been consolidated to make sure that they take care of these few mandates, which is what? Regulate cybersecurity activities in Ghana. So all the other institutions that are fighting cybersecurity issues in Nigeria, when it comes to in Ghana, when it comes to even fighting crime, fraud, and scam-related issues in the financial space, has been formulated into the Cybersecurity Authority. And so their mandate is what? To regulate cybersecurity activities in Nigeria. In Ghana. And I think Nigeria can also do something similar like this. Additionally, lead national cybersecurity awareness campaigns. That's their second most important role or job. The third is coordinate cyber incident response activities. And this authority came into being with the establishment of the Cybersecurity Act in 2020 in Ghana. Now, what did this lead to? This led to the formation of a strong cyber ecosystem in Ghana, and that gave us a few recognitions. You can see there that according to the Global Cybersecurity Index, Ghana is actually ranked third in Africa for cybersecurity-related issues when it comes to fighting or promoting the awareness creation and then regulating cybersecurity issues in Ghana. Now, we also achieved Tier 1 status, like I said or mentioned earlier. Nigeria achieved, or currently is at Tier 3, which is one of the lowest. Tier 3 in Africa. And Ghana is actually on a Tier 1 status. And what did that mean, or what does that mean? It means, though, we are recognized for strong legal, technical, and organizational frameworks in fighting cybersecurity and all these other issues. So, like I said, one of the things that I have noticed that is happening, or most of the speakers have alluded to, is the fact that they keep questioning or trying to find out what can we do to educate to ensure that we are able to bridge the gap between the not so digital savvy and digital savvy people when it comes to awareness on or education related issues on cybersecurity, digital financial services, fraud, and scams. What can we do? And the answer is here. You tell them a story. And this story should be one that mirrors their own experiences and are easily relatable. Okay? You tell them a story. You can do so in English or using the various local languages that presently exist in Nigeria. And by so doing, you help them recognize some of the signs and learn the lessons from these stories. And this brings me to the fact that, storytelling has always been with Africans. And Nigeria, having Nollywood, has been a trailblazer on that front. And so one of the things that we are doing in Ghana is leverage on storytelling to educate the masses about digital financial fraud, cybersecurity-related issues, and scams. So we must also understand that digital literacy is a collaborative effort. And I think I mentioned that, and all the speakers also mentioned that collaboration is really important in this industry if we are to expect, some of these nuances or some of these loopholes to be avoided. And to advance financial inclusion, we need to champion digital financial literacy. So what is our solution? Like I said, the solution we are using in Ghana or leveraging on, because of the complexities involved in, understanding these complex technologies that we are all now talking about in this room, is to leverage on theater for development. And one of the things we have noticed that theater for development has always been a critical component in achieving this milestone. I remember when COVID struck, most people needed to be educated on what are the best practices to use or to leverage on in order to avoid, getting the disease and all that. And a lot of the messages were shared through storytelling mechanisms and processes, or this module was applied in making sure that the message reached down to the masses. So these are just a few feedback from some of the people who actually saw what we are doing in Ghana, and these are some of their comments. They said, well, theater is a more effective way to raise awareness among Ghanaians about their rights and responsibilities than traditional lecture-based approaches. I mean, sitting here in this room, we can discuss all the problems and solutions, but then how do we get the message to the informal sector, people in the informal sector, particularly the market woman out there, the farmer in the village? How do they understand? Because they do not necessarily have or possess the kind of knowledge and knowledge that we have. Now, storytelling is a powerful tool we can leverage on because it helps connect better with our audience. It helps connect better with our audience. This is a very insightful and important piece of education. If this drama could be performed in various local languages, like I said, we perform this in local languages as well. Now, so these are just a few of the comments that we got when we decided to go this route. Because sitting down and listening to all of you, I think we have been only focused so far leveraging on these emerging technologies to develop solutions. And I mean solutions that work for the informal sector. But we have not been able to counteract that, to leverage on other modules to achieve, or this technology to achieve the nuances that we are actually talking about in this room right now. So then, last month, we decided to go on this. When we decided to go on this trajectory of leveraging on theater for development, we came out with a comedy play called Cyber Heist. And so Cyber Heist was basically a theatrical, thrilling, educational, yet entertaining and comical play that we designed to raise awareness about digital financial fraud, scams, data breaches, and cybersecurity threats in Ghana. And so at this juncture, I would like to say that we designed this Cyber Heist play to also protect the consumer of our products and services. And listening in here, I noticed a lot of fintechs are in this room. But then, when the data breaches come in, when the cyber attacks come in, how do you communicate that to your audience or to your consumers? Because consumer protection should be at the heart of what we are doing. And so I would like to play that video to actually give you a brief insight into what we are doing. Thank you.
Something is happening. 2,000 Ghana cedis from our account.
What the fintech is going on here?
How could you allow me to be scammed?
Scammed? By who? How?
Something is happening. 2,000 Ghana cedis from our account.
What the fintech is going on here?
How could you allow me to be scammed?
Scammed? By who? How?
This girl told me that she worked for the telcos and that they want to validate my mobile money account.
So you are trying to tell me that I don't give away 2,000 Ghana?
Yeah, just like that.
Jesus! 40 million and you are behaving like this. If it were to be me, look at my face. I could have killed a lot of people. Aye!
See, I am sure there is a cyber hailstorm going, and I am the next victim.
Let me guess. You have been same swap.
Exactly. Yes.
So you know.
See, this is the future. This is tech. Even the first one I stressed. Let me tell you, this one I did not stress. I only sent my number, my Momo pin, and then my.
Let's see.
Hey, your Momo pin. You sent pin.
You know what? I think my family is under attack. Yes!
So this is part of our campaign awareness project where we are hoping to use this platform, leverage on storytelling and education to sensitize our people irrespective of their jurisdiction.
So, Mr. Thompson, we have frozen your account,
Oh, praise the
and
Lord.
then we help to recover the funds.
Hey, yo.
But please,
One more,
can you
man.
do something that is very simple for all of us?
I'll do
Please do not share your personal details over the phone.
that.
And you, do not share your personal details over the phone. It is very dangerous.
Yes, thank you for that again. It shows that we are doing something right. So as you can see, this is just the beginning.
Yes, sir. I'm the one that submitted the CV to your company. Yes, I'm a lawyer. Well, I specialize in criminal law. It doesn't mean I'm a lawyer to criminals, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry about that. So like I said, thank you for that. And then, I mean, this show was actually hosted once. It was a one show, and just like the National Theatre of Nigeria, we have a national theatre with a capacity of about 1,005. And when this show was, brought on, we hosted half of that capacity. But currently, we are in discussions with the Nigerian FinTech Association of Nigeria to bring this play, work with local partners here within the ecosystem to bring this play down to Nigeria as well, and to use this or leverage on this to educate the masses and even yourself, because as you're all aware, none of us in this room is even, free from cyber attacks. We can equally be hacked, we can equally be scammed, and we can irrespective of our knowledge in technology, or whether we work in fintech or we don't work in fintech, whether we work with regulators or not, we are all at risk of being scammed. And so this is just a lesson for all of us to take this seriously. Now, cyber heist basically is a prototype model for creative risk education. So if you notice from the video, you see that one of the things we did was to, in as much as pinpoint some of the issues that are happening, we also bring in the solutions. So there's a problem that is created and a solution is communicated likewise. So the internet or the media was awash with publications on this play, when we actually debuted it on 1st May 2020. Did I say 1st May? No, 2nd May. I think, yeah, 2nd May 2025. And we are hoping to bring this as a public-private collaboration between our industries. Because I think one of the things we kept mentioning was cross-border payments. But then, when a hack happens here, when a scam happens here, it can equally affect all of us, irrespective of jurisdiction. So, now, one of the things I want to do is to also, before I end my presentation, propose this as, let's make sure we all work together to propose or leverage on this platform or leverage on this storytelling narrative to create a national cyber awareness strategy or, onboard processes for digital services. So these are just some of the scenes from the play. And then, now, one of the things I am happy about in Ghana and what we are doing, particularly with the regulators, is that we've got massive, massive support from all the regulators, from the central bank to, the Ministry of Communications, Digital Technology and Innovation, as well as the Cybersecurity Authority, Data Protection Commission of Ghana, and even the industries or the companies involved or partaking of the industry. And so what we did was we invited the regulators to the table, and this was the representative of the Cybersecurity Authority. And after the play, this was actually his feedback. He said what? He has learnt a lot, and in fact, all the boxes were ticked for him, particularly with what we depicted in the play. He said what? Account takeover was actually identified, Momo fraud, fake online shops like that of Instagram. And to tell you a story, I've actually been a victim of that before, irrespective of the, how protected you think you are, And then recruitment scams, fake data sale, brand impersonation, investment scams, blackmail, cyberbullying, loan app frauds, man in the middle, phishing, and office cybersecurity tips, and many more. So then that brings me to the fact that, this process or this module is not nothing essentially new. It has been used before, and it can still be used to actually help eradicate some of these issues we are identifying. And after the play, this is some of the feedback from our participants. I enjoyed every bit of the show. Educating the people and the audience on internet fraud is a brilliant addition to the play. Very educative. It was an excellent performance, and the list goes on. So at this juncture, I would not like to waste much of your time. And like I said earlier on, we had massive, massive support from government institutions. And then these were actually our sponsors. Fintech companies were there, banks, and then even the telcos were actually in support of what we're doing. And so this is just the beginning, and we are hoping to leverage on this to reach down to the masses. Now, one thing we are also doing is to work with government and NGOs to raise between $500,000 to $1 million to take this campaign awareness program to the masses, to those in regions that we cannot, or this information cannot get to, or the discussions we are having here cannot get to. So we're actually in the process of raising about $500,000 to $1 million to do that. All through, and we are planning to do that in the entirety of the country. And these were also our partners for the program. So at this juncture, I'd like to say thank you. And thank you for listening attentively. Those are my details. Once you scan the QR code, it brings you directly to my WhatsApp, and that's my email, and any other information you would like to find out about me. And we are welcome to have any discussions about fintech engagement and in Ghana and even in Africa, because I also serve on the board of the African FinTech Network that has an office here. But before I close, I want to bring something to the attention of all of you. I remember one of the things that we are lacking in Africa is the common regulatory framework across the regions. And I'd like to say that Ghana and Rwanda has started something. I think CBN, for instance, can take advantage of, which is the FinTech License Passport Framework. FinTech License Passport Framework. That is to say that if you are in Rwanda and you have, or you run a FinTech business in Rwanda, if you want to expand actually to Ghana, it becomes very easy. You do not need to go through all the hurdles when it comes to the cost issues and, sieving through the regulatory issues when it comes to setting up a business in Ghana, and vice versa. So Ghana and Rwanda is championing this FinTech License Passport Framework initiative, and I think all other FinTech ecosystems or countries or regulators must come on board to make sure this works for Africa so that we can enable and achieve a faster cross-border transactions. Thank you.